Hey guys, this is Mr. Simonini here. This video is about the review that you're going to be doing with the quadratics. The goal that you're going to be doing in each form is going to be finding the x-intercepts, the y-intercepts, and the vertex. Now with the x-intercepts, remember what you're doing is you're solving. Okay, so whenever you find x-intercepts for quadratics, you're solving. Whenever you're finding y-intercepts, remember that you always just plug in 0 for x no matter what form. And then the vertex, again, when you find the vertex, that helps you graph in general. Now, I really suggest, again, I'm telling you, this is probably one of the most important things that you're going to get from me this semester and during this e-learning experience. This is something that you can also help. I mean, if you need help next year, because you guys are going to be doing some quadratics at the beginning of geometry next school year. So this might be a little cheat sheet for you that you can use to help remind yourself how to do certain stuff with quadratics. Remember, there's 3 forms. As I'm going, again, we're going to be finding the vertex in each form, which is that, which is this guy right here. We're going to be finding the x-intercepts. We're going to be finding y-intercepts. So we're going to be looking basically at these 9 boxes, okay? So these 9 boxes that I just circled or highlighted, all 9 of these boxes is what we're going to be doing on this assignment. So it's really important to make sure you know what box we're in. And again, you can use this to help you if you need it. All right, so let's go ahead and do the first problem. So this is my first problem. I got y equals negative, parenthesis, x minus 5 squared plus 36. This is in vertex form. The first thing that I have to do is find the x-intercept. That means I need to solve it. Whenever I'm solving in vertex form, there is one x here. So you can actually think about first semester. And if you want to go ahead and do your arrows, your PEMDAS, have 0 in the middle, go ahead and do that. But I'm going to go ahead and solve. Remember, y is 0 whenever you're finding the x-intercept. Anyways, when you solve this, you want to get rid of the number that's after the parenthesis first. So you subtract 36 on both sides. Be careful. This is not going to be a no solution guy. Because you don't take the square root of both sides yet. You have to divide by this -1. You get rid of that -1 by dividing both sides by -1. What's a negative over a negative? Well, that's a positive. So 36 equals x minus 5 squared. Now this next step, make sure you guys, when you're taking the square root of both sides, you actually take the square root of both sides. What is the square root of 36? That's 6, not 36. Anyways, okay, I'm not done yet. I'm going to come over here. So again, I have x minus 5 equals 6, not 36, or x minus 5 equals -6. Where is 6 coming from? Because the square root of 36 is 6, right? Now I add 5 on both sides, so I get x equals 11 here, and then I add 5 on both sides here, and I get x equals -1 here. So these are my 2 x-intercepts, or my answers for my solutions. Now, you're going to see me write them out. Since they're x-intercepts, I'm going to write them as order pairs. Remember, y is 0. So 11, 0, and -1, 0. So again, these are the x-intercepts for my vertex form equation. Again, what you do is you just solve it traditionally. Okay, y-intercept. With the y-intercept, again, all you need to do is just plug in 0. So I already have it right here. Instead of writing x, I just put 0. And again, you can use decimals.com to help you out here. Just do the calculations. Oops. So it'd be negative, parentheses 0, minus, minus 5, parentheses squared, plus 36. And I get an answer 11. So my y-intercept is going to be 11, which makes sense. So my y-intercept is going to be 0, 11. There you go. By vertex, again, when it's in vertex form, it's easy. Remember, it's opposite of whatever this number is. So opposite, right? So opposite of -5 is 5, and then whatever number comes afterwards, 5, 36. Remember the negative, what the negative does, it makes it go down. If you're wondering what does that do. Okay, you still do opposite there. Anyways, that's vertex form. Again, if you needed more help, you could have gone, okay, how do I find the vertex? Okay, I can do it that way. Okay, that's how I solve it or find the x-intercepts, and I need to plug in 0 to find the y-intercept. Again, you can use this to help you out if you need it. All right, standard form now. Again, you're finding the 3 things, x-intercepts, y-intercept, and vertex. Let's first focus on x-intercepts. Whenever you're finding the x-intercepts, you have to use quadratic formula. Again, look at your notes above if you need a refresher. But anyways, It'd be 4 plus or minus the square root, because the opposite would be. Negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times, times negative 5 all over 2 times 1. And again, you can put this in your calculator then. I'm going to clear this out. So it was 4, hit my fraction bar first, 4 plus the square root of negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 5 all over 2 times 1. And I get an answer of 5. Let me make sure that's right. Be 5. Yeah, okay, so one of my answers is going to be 5. So I'll come here. So one of my answers is going to be 5. So x equals 5. And my other answer is going to be negative 1. Look at that. So I get 5 and, you can say and or there, it doesn't really matter. You get an answer of x equals 5 or x equals negative 1. So x equals 5 or x equals negative 1. There's my answers. For the y-intercept, remember what you do, you just plug 0 in. I already have it plugged in. In this case, if you look here, again, your c is actually your y-intercept whenever it's in standard form, because you just plug in 0 and these will just cancel out. So it's always going to be your c. But in this case, your y-intercept is going to be 0, negative 5. Remember, x is 0 whenever you're finding a y-intercept. So again, anytime you find the y-intercept, you always plug 0 in for x. All right, vertex, again, wait, how do you find the vertex? Well, again, you can come up here, and if you forget, how to do standard form, you can look, how do I find, it's right here. I have to do it opposite to b over 2a. So again, this really helps you out if you forget how to do some stuff. So again, I already have it written here. I already kind of did it due to time of this video, but again, you do opposite of b over 2a. Again, my equation is right here. Let's not forget about it. Okay, I'm finding the vertex of that. So I got 2 for my x. Again, you plug this into the equation then to get the y. In this case, my vertex is going to be 2, negative 9. All right, there you go. All right, so again, those are my answers for standard form. I should have put this in. I don't care if you write x equals 5 or order pair. It doesn't matter. You can write it either or for the x-intercepts. Just notice that. All right. Next one is going to be factored form. Now, this one is like the one in the homework. So just make sure you guys are paying attention to this. This is very similar to the homework one. Now, when you're finding the x-intercepts, you have to do opposites. Now, the number outside of the parentheses does not matter whenever you're doing opposites or finding the x-intercepts. You can kind of ignore it for right now. So I'm going to completely ignore it. All right. And then you swing this 4 underneath, remember. Then you do opposites. So one of my x-intercepts is going to be 3 over 4, 0. That comes from this. And then my other one is the opposite of negative 5, which is going to be 5, 0. So I get 3 over 4, 0, 5, 0. So again, if you do this, x equals 3 over 4 or x equals 5, that's the same thing. It does not matter which way you write it. But anyways, these are my x-intercepts. All right, y-intercept, again, you just plug in 0. If you need to use your calculator, you can. So again, if you really need to do this, be like 6 times 4 times 0, and I think it was minus 3, parenthesis, 0 minus 5. So again, if you need to do that, you can. Make sure I'm good. All right, everything looks good. So my answer is going to be 90 for the y-intercept. There is always a y-intercept for quadratics because you can always plug in 0 in for x. All right, the vertex, again, you have to, again, if you forget how to do it, remember, you can always go back here if you need to. Now you're in factor form. Oh yeah, I have to find the x-intercepts, divide it by 2, and then plug it in to get the y. So again, that really helps you out figure these out, okay? So make sure you're using your cheat sheet. Anyways, x-intercepts are 3 over 4 and 5. I have a fraction over a fraction, so you might have a little bit of trouble with that. Try to keep it fractions. Again, decimals.com is really nice. In this case, you have to hit the fraction, and you actually want to hit it again. So you have to hit the fraction button twice so that you can put 3 over 4 up top. Okay, and then plus, what was it, plus 5? Plus 5 divided by 2. Now I get a decimal. Again, try to stay away from decimals. You can click the button to the right of the answer that, was changing color right now and get that fraction. So 23 over 8 is going to be the x of the vertex. So I'm going to come here and say, again, my x to the vertex is 23 over 8. Now I'm going to plug that in. So 23 over 8 goes into my equation. Again, if you need your you probably do need your calculator here. So I go 6 parentheses 4. Again, it's a fraction I'm plugging in, so it would be 23 over 8. You have to be like really careful here. It's a little bit tricky. Minus 3. Close that parenthesis, and I got another fraction, which is the same one, 23 over 8 minus, whoop, I don't want that, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to have the minus 5, and now squeeze in the parenthesis. As you can see, I get the other answer. Let me make sure I'm all good. Everything's checking out. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and change that to a fraction. Negative 867 over 8. I know it's pretty ugly, but hey, I'm just trying to make you, challenge you a little bit, see if you can deal with fractions and decimals. But again, this would be the vertex. It's an ugly vertex, but again, I wanted to see if you can do some fractions with that and, use decimals for your own good. But anyways, again, this is a really important review. I know this is a longer video because, again, there's a lot going on here. And again, the most important thing for you to understand is this cheat sheet. You're using this cheat sheet on this review. And again, it's really difficult because you can look at the equation and I can ask you about 6 different things about the equation. And you have to be able to understand what answer I want by reading the instructions. And again, you can use this to help you out a lot. I really suggest you saving this for next year even. Anyways, please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.